Welcome everyone to Mental Up Bookverse. Hi YouTube family, Imadi here. Today I'll be talking about one of my favorite books called Mastery by Robert Greene. The author Robert Greene is a renowned author, multiple New York Times bestseller, and widely known for his book, The 48 Laws of Power. Today I'll be reviewing Mastery. The book Mastery is based on evidence-based research in neuroscience, cognitive science, as well as biography of people in history and contemporaries who have mastered their fields, including the likes of Einstein, Darwin, and the Grand Chess Master Bobby Fischer. I share a lot of their stories in the summary. But before we jump right into the summary, if you're new to this channel, I do book summaries and reviews, and if you enjoy this kind of content or similar content, be sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Well, without wasting too much time, let's jump right into the summary, and I'll see you guys afterwards. Where do big ideas come from? Does creativity and brilliance just happen out of thin air? Are talents born or made? What type of intelligence gets us to be masters of our fields? Unfortunately, these concepts are somewhat enigmatic to most people. They aren't taught in schools and are often surrounded by myths and misconceptions. The book Mastery by Robert Greene helps explain how we can become aware of, build, and maintain creativity and talent in any field to become a master at it. In this video, I'll be sharing some key ideas from the book. The first being to dispel the myth about people's creative genius. While it seems only a limited number of people truly excel in their field, the truth is the road to mastery, with all its twists and turns, is open to all of us. Although it is easy to mystify leaders, inventors, and others that have attained greatness, the truth is great people in history and contemporaries are no different from any one of us. The only difference between them and someone yet to reach mastery is they applied some fundamental skills to mastery. While learning the steps to mastery seem easy, not everyone wants to go through the hard work to attain it. It requires interest, consistency, and dedication, which in turn affects the quality of how we apply our intellect. We have seen this with the likes of Leonardo da Vinci, Charles Darwin, Thomas Edison, Benjamin Franklin, Marie Curie, Mozart, Madam C.J. Walker, among many others. The second idea is to look inward to find out what you are passionate about, which is often unique to you. Scientific evidence shows that we all have a genetic makeup that is unique. This uniqueness often determines our preferences. For example, while we might be innately drawn to a particular subject or activity, such as music, science, analytical thinking, advocacy, art, etc. The author argues that this sort of inclination is not the same as talent or brilliance, because those must be developed, but is rather a deep connection that sparks primal curiosity in us. In childhood, this is evident by the things we are instinctively drawn to. Sadly, most people lose sight of this as they mature in life, due to conforming to social norms. Masters that stand out are fortunate to experience this deep connection a lot clearer while disregarding societal pressure. This allows them to withstand challenges that come with attaining mastery, such as self-doubt, tedious hours of practice and study, inevitable setbacks, or hurtful remarks from envious people. Through their process to mastery, they develop tenacity and confidence. Since we need our uniqueness to thrive in our mastery, how do we reconnect to our innate inclinations? One way of doing this suggested by the author is to return to your origins. Don't disregard things that you were drawn to in your childhood. For example, Albert Einstein was fascinated by magnetic forces in his childhood. This was apparent when his father gifted him a compass at the age of 5. Einstein was drawn to how the needle changed directions when he moved, and this got him thinking of other powerful invisible forces in the world that are yet to be understood. This thought process fueled his interests and ideas, and we are all aware how later in life he discovered the famous theory of relativity. Another example in history is Marie Curie. As a 4-year-old, she enjoyed hanging out at her dad's science lab and was fascinated by the chemistry and physics instruments in the lab. She later discovered radium and pioneered research on radioactivity. The third idea is to be an apprentice. Apprenticeship is the first phase to mastery. Here, you prioritize learning different skills related to your field of interest. The primary goal of apprenticeship is to transform your mind and character. This process isn't easy and requires patience, as there are no shortcuts. It involves 3 steps, the first being deep observation. This is a passive mode. The second is skill acquisition, which is a practice mode. The third being experimentation, which is an active mode. Here's an example of how apprenticeship paid off in history. Charles Darwin wasn't always committed to his studies. He wasn't a trained scientist and lacked discipline. However, he had a passion for being outdoors. He had the opportunity to be gainfully employed based on his father's connections, but he declined this for an unpaid opportunity to leave England and sail around the world. He spent almost 5 years on this trip in the coast of South America collecting life and mineral specimens. The voyage transformed him from a bored, reluctant student to a committed, enthusiastic naturalist who eventually contributed to evolutionary biology. Remember, during the apprenticeship phase, think skill and knowledge acquisition and not income. The fourth idea is to learn all you can from your mentor. Having a mentor is a way to avoid mistakes in your career path. Mentors offer guidance and can help us accelerate the apprenticeship phase. The mentor-protege relationship is the most efficient and productive form of learning. If you can't get a mentor, then use books or courses as temporary mentors. Keep in mind, an in-person mentor can observe you at work and provide real-time feedback. The fifth idea is to build social intelligence. Social intelligence is the ability to see people as they are, not as we perceive them to be. Getting to know people beyond their facade helps you know the real person. Doing this improves your relationships and keeps you from getting into avoidable mistakes and conflicts. On the other hand, social naivete can impede your effectiveness and energy for mastery. Understanding the people we work with helps us gain more time and energy to focus on learning and growing our mastery. An example of a person that applied his social intelligence was one of the founding fathers of the United States, Benjamin Franklin. His life experiences helped him understand human nature, which was once a struggle for him. He learned to be more empathetic towards the needs of others, see others for their perspectives, and learning what makes them tick. These qualities helped him navigate and negotiate challenging situations with international leaders and win allies. The sixth idea is the creative active phase. After the apprenticeship phase, be open-minded to be unique. Robert equates this to being childlike in your learning style. Imagine you're in a new country on a holiday. There's a high chance that you have a heightened interest in learning about the culture and the people. That's how your experiences post-apprenticeship should evolve into mastery in your field. We see this in the story of Mozart. Although he had been playing great classical music since he was a boy, He hadn't composed his own sound. Later in his career, he stepped out of his comfort zone, using his musical knowledge to create his own sound, and eventually composed about 600 pieces of music, many of which became masterpieces. Today, he's arguably known as the greatest composer in history. The seventh idea is the phase of mastery. This is the final phase of the mastery process. Here, you combine your knowledge, skills, and intuition. Masters often apply high-level intuition in their decision-making. Robert highlights that this kind of intuition is a skill that requires practice and experience. Acquiring high-level intuition offers us an intelligence that helps us process and simplify complex information in our environment. It is something masters cultivated over the years. For example, chess master Bobby Fischer could predict moves of the pieces on the chessboard before the game unfolded. In summary, mastery isn't about your DNA or luck. It is attainable to anyone who will work for it, while facing the reality that it is not what we fantasize it to be, but about applying the important steps to attaining mastery in our field of choice. And welcome back. Overall, what I loved about the book Mastery was that it shared a lot of stories in history and in present times, as well as strategies that we can use to realize our potential. The book has a total of 353 pages, and it is a heavy read. It is something that you have to take your time and read the details, because each chapter was really detailed. I highly recommend this book as a fantastic resource to anyone who is currently looking forward to taking their career to the next level, or if you're dissatisfied in where you are in your mastery journey, this book is a great resource for you. Let's chat in the comment section below. I would love to hear your take on what you thought about the summary, and also if you've read the book Mastery, I would want to hear your opinions about the book. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to give it a thumbs up and also share this video with family and friends to encourage them in their mastery journey. Also, if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Until next time, be well, my friends, and remember, keep your mental up. Bye for now.